Good evening, TheoTrade. This is Corey Rosenblum, and you're watching the Theo Nightly video for the 2nd of July, 2019. As we begin the third quarter of the year, we're going to do an update on tech names. Now, the Nasdaq, we'll see in a moment here, does not have a new all-time high, but the S&P does. We'll take a quick look at that S&P. At that new all-time high, just shy of 3,000. Nasdaq not quite there, but if we look at our sector, the XLK technology, that is there. So we are seeing a new high in the ETF. So we'll pick up tonight's video there. Just for reference, we're looking at the left side of the chart. We're going to focus most of our discussion on levels, especially resistance in most of the big tech names, and what plays might be as we go into July and maybe even August. And thus the left side of the chart is where we'll focus our attention on price levels. On the right side is our probability of expiring cone. It talks a little bit about the future and gives us expectations or levels. And we look at the ADX. It's a trend or not trend indicator. So high levels suggest trend in motion. Low levels instead suggest consolidation. And the markets move from contraction back in middle 2018 to expansion and then back again. And the ATR is a stop loss function, or to let us know what we can expect if we're trading these stocks intraday. And of course, for us option traders, we have the implied volatility at the bottom of the chart. First, XLK has its price pivot at 80 per share. So that's what we'll be watching in this week and through the rest of July. Will this break through, or will it turn down from it? If you're looking at a sell signal like last night's video, this would be the spot to watch in technology. For example, Microsoft. It continues an uptrend. We continue to play these bounces or retracements or little bull flags off of your 20-day exponential, worst case scenario 50-day exponential, and prior price levels including 120 per share, 130 per share, and what's possibly coming up this month, which is about 140 per share. So Microsoft has its prior high, it's it exactly, at 138. That is just like the S&P, just shy of a full, easy to remember round number target. So if Microsoft keeps playing to the upside, we may see 140 pretty quickly. But watch this level as we go into this month and beyond. But there isn't a trade right now in Microsoft. That's because it's pushing up away from the 20 exponential and it's just shy of that minimum target, which is the prior high. So nothing to do right now in this stock. If you're long off of prior support levels, hold it till at least 138, if not 140. Otherwise, look to get short or be bearish or take profits into overhead resistance. Facebook is showing us that resistance. So that will be the theme of tonight's video. Tech names into resistance, time to sell or take profits. That level in Facebook is 200 per share. Specifically, it's about 198, but like everything else, S&P at 3,000, Microsoft at 140. Not everything's going to be perfect right now. There isn't a trade at the moment, but that trade is setting up to take profits off closed positions and consider getting short into overhead resistance, which is roughly 200 per share for Facebook. That could open the way for a downswing to 180 or 175. Now down to Amazon, we're looking for it to consolidate, compress, but at the moment it's trading up toward 2,000. So it doesn't quite achieve that in the prior high, and it hasn't achieved that yet in 2019. We fell from that peak in 2018, but that is where the trajectory takes it, which is about 2,000 per share. Again, the theme is we're just shy of resistance, but we're watching all these levels and any positions that we have. We have to respect what happens into these resistance pivots. And again, that's 2,000 for Amazon. Nothing going on right here, but that's coming up in this next week or the week after, most likely. And for Apple, it's 200 and roughly 205, 204, but the prior high is that 210 per share level. So just like everything else, Apple is in the midpoint of that bounce and rally. Its target takes it to at least 210, if not a little bit higher. That ADX is hitting a new low, which suggests compression or consolidation. that suggests a future breakout. And we got that breakout in financials. If you saw Thursday night's video, the update on that is that we got partially that range expansion event, at least Friday into Monday session. NFLX is the one stock that is a little bit different. That is because it shows a clear overhead resistance pivot at 380 per share. Now we're not just shy of 400. That's a key pivot that was hit in 2018, but it's 380. So like everything, we are not quite there, but 380 is your overhead resistance pivot. Consideration short, take profits if long into overhead resistance. Next up is Google. So we are seeing the push up away from this 1100. That is your pivot to be watching currently. Worst case is 1125. That is your moving average and a prior price resistance level. So watch 1125, mainly 1100 in Google, which is just shy, well, quite a bit shy actually, of 1200 and 1300. Not going to see these happen anytime soon, but watch this 1125 at the moment. Consider that to be the overhead resistance that Google is just shy of at the moment. And finally, IBM. It's at that 140 per share target. That's where we are. That's where a pivot takes place. That's a target that is achieved. So watch this as it goes forward. And again, the thought process here, no prediction, but anytime a market goes into a resistance target, that is a pivot. And so that brings in sellers. So bulls that are in a profit zone take their position off, they take their profits, they close their trades. Well, that's a sell. But then bears who see an overhead resistance target, they get short. They see that as the top of the move and identify it as such, and then trade bearishly with puts or short calls or short shares or any number of strategies with option positions. So either way, these pivots help us to determine risk. If we want to get short into here, we have a tight stop if above the breakout. If the market goes ahead and breaks out of the resistance point, and if it works, if the markets all hold, there may be a little bit more to the upside in other stocks and of course the Nasdaq, but that will give us a better target to play for, and when compared to our risk, which is smaller. No prediction, just probabilities. As always, stay safe. This is Corey Rosenblum with your Theo Nightly video for July 2nd, 2019.